Hi there, welcome back and welcome to another episode of Hidden Gems, a series where we talk about big, small cards of all sizes and all shapes. Of course, we have covered strikers, defenders, all of them will be linked in the description below. Today, we are covering wingers. Yes, every single winger, starting from if you have started playing the game from today all the way up to if you want to reach those high levels without being a cheater, obviously, which apparently now seems very difficult. However, we'll talk about all these cards, and before we do, a quick shout out to Pozitive and Sting who have made these videos happen. We have three categories: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and finally one for all my investor boys out there, which is the truly premium category. And all the cards that we'll be recommending at beginner, intermediate levels are recommended at red ranked plus 20 training, because these provide you with the versatility to play with these cards even if you are reaching that FIFA FC champion level, just because how OP rank ups right now are. So with all of that out of the way, let's start with our first category, which is beginner. Yes, we'll be recommending cards up to 90 overall, and all of the wingers today will come in pairs because you do not. The first pair for us is again my trusted pair. I've played with this pair for a while. This is Vinicius Jr. and again, Vinny is one of those cards which you'll see getting featured quite a lot across the ranks because he holds up really well from this level all the way up to even advanced levels, just because of his versatility, good work rate, 94 pace being an absolute plus at level 88. And with him we have Chiesa, another card that really holds up well, I'd say, at the beginner level to pair with Vinicius. Both of them have 4-star weak foot though, but usually since you hit finesse shots with wingers, these weak foots won't be that much of an issue. That is the part to remember. Along with them, you also have a honorable mentions pair, which is going to be Rashford and Dembele. Now see, Vinicius, as much as is a pace heavy option, Rashford is the card that I'd go for if you want a physicality driven winger. Rashford is way more physical than Vinicius, holds up the ball quite well, but has a 3-star weak foot though, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Plus, really no shooting traits if you think about it. On the other hand, Dembele is again a very low physical but a high pace option, thus making them a great pair. 94 pace as a right winger. Going into our rank ups and skill boost, you'll see a common thread. For most wingers, we will give Ramdoiter as our skill move trait that we actually upgrade. Red rank level 20. This is Vinicius. This is Chiesa, and again they cost you around 3 million buying with ranked up. And look at those stats: 129 pace, 108 shooting, insane numbers. And finally, honorable mentions, Rashford right here, 127 pace, again a bit more physical as I mentioned, with 3-star though. And here an interesting thing is Dembele also has a 88 team of the year card. It's going to be slightly more expensive at this point, but you actually get more pace heavy card, 134 pace at this level. So if you have a little bit more market value, you can also consider going for this Dembele, or you can still stick with the founders Dembele. He is going to do very good as well. Speaking of which, let's move on to intermediate. Now in intermediate, we usually take cards that are at that 91 to 93 overall range, and here our perfect pair is Luis Diaz along with Ousmane Dembele. Now see here, Luis Diaz actually has a very well-rounded card, but that main focus is 98 pace. He does not have shooting traits though, and also a 4-star weak foot. So something you might face is that you don't want to hit a lot of finesse shots with Luis Diaz. He is great though, but again, my focus on hitting the finesse shots in this pair is definitely Ousmane Dembele. Again, another one of those sleeper hits, 99 pace, and the reason why you hit those is because he has a 5-star with high medium and also speed dribbler. So Diaz is your physicality driven option and Dembele is your shooting option. Always remember that when you are doing pairs like these, you want to make sure that one of them balances out the other, and that is exactly what we are doing. But of course, if you want an option for this pair, you will go for our Rafael Leao and Mo Salah honorable mentions pair. Now see, Rafael Leao is a very good card, team of the year version with 100 pace. The reason why we stuck with Luis Diaz as our main feature is because of the work rates for Leao. However, I personally play with this card now in my second account, and I can tell you that this card doesn't act like a medium low. You can very well play with this card instead of Luis Diaz and you'll be still amazed by how good he is. Plus he has the finesse shot trait, which is a great addition. And what can we say about Mo Salah except for the fact that he has 3-star weak foot. However, his finesse shot more than makes up for it, finesse shot and outside foot shots. Speaking of which, let me show you what the rank up situations are. Of course, starting off with our favorite Luis Diaz, great card, 135 pace. Again, you say Ramdueter for all of them, you don't really get anything else. Apart from him though, we have Ousmane Dembele, of course, 136 on the same level with 68 physical. Here we have Rafael Leao, who is quite a lot higher in terms of that physicality, 90 physical. This is important to keep in mind. So we can go ahead and pair someone like Mo Salah with him, who's also maybe a little bit lower on the pace but great in terms of shooting, thus completing our intermediate level. Now see, before we jump into advanced category, a card that I have to give a huge shout out to is the Zarzinho TOTY exchange. This card is not there anymore, you cannot complete it, but if you completed that TOTY exchange and if you gave him some Mascheranos to rank up, that card was simply the best team of the year exchange that we had. And also that card is very good in this intermediate advanced both levels, like between these levels, because the overall is kind of interesting. However, if you have him, you really don't need to look out for any right wingers though, and you won't really look out for Mo Salah here, who is our right winger in the advanced category. Again, the same praises except for the funny thing that the rivals Mo Salah card has a 4-star weak foot. Apparently as your overall goes high, you get upgraded weak foots for some reason. That's how physics works, of course, and everything I said about the lower overall card is applicable here except for that great weak foot. And also with him we pair Vinicius Jr., who makes a comeback with a 103 pace. That is insane, but it is still lower than the cards that we'll see next. This card is your pace heavy, high shooting, passing, dribbling, everything in one complete package. I love this card and I cannot really go wrong with a Vinicius Salah pair. But if you want to play it again a bit more on the physical front, because you know that Vinicius might not be the one that you are looking for, in that case you will go with Son Heung-min. And again, Son is such an interesting profile for me because this card is one of the only cards you'll see who has solid player as a winger. Son's both cards, I have featured the team of the year. You can still go with, you know, the National Valor one. Has great numbers, but more often than not, the reason why Son gets picked is because he has that solid player, so better physicality. And if you want a card like that to pair with him as a right winger, you'll go for Al Owaidan's newest card. Again, great numbers, but more importantly, Al Owaidan is also a 5-star, 4-star with the lack of finesse shot trait. So you'll take most shots with, you know, Son Heung-min, and you'll use Al Owaidan for dribbling for those runs because of the 103 pace, thus making our pairs here, Vinny and Salah, are more reliable and more versatile options. Son and Al Owaidan if you're looking for a pair with greater physicality and, you know, bigger numbers. This is Vinicius Jr., red rank, 20 level, 139 pace. You'll see the pace number not increasing by that much when you go into the rank up categories, but still, you know, 136 and 139 are all great numbers. Paired with him though, we have Mo Salah, 131 pace but 85 physical, which is interesting. And also don't forget that upgraded weak foot. Let's jump into the Al Owaidan card that I want to show you, because again we have 139 pace but we have an icon with 83 physicality as well, so right winger with the physicality is always appreciated. And finally we have Son's National Valor card here upgraded, and as I was telling you, the TOTY card is great too. TOTYs usually have a bit more of upgraded numbers. Same with the Dembele's card as you saw earlier, but Son here has 131 pace, 80 physical, so you're physical heavy left winger. Finally, it's time to talk about the big boys, the last 6 cards in our premium category, big money category, and the pair that we will recommend here, and I don't really know if I have to explain this, is Mbappe and Messi. Now again, this Mbappe's card alongside his pace for some reason has a solid player, which makes him a bit more heavier on the ball. Like if you are still wanting to dribble with your left winger, maybe Mbappe's Sons are not the options, as you know, but it does not really matter at this level because this card has high low, this card has 106 pace and 102 dribbling. It's just the fact that sometimes you might feel a bit more on the heavier side with Mbappe on the ball. So to counter that, we will pair him with Lionel Messi, the exact opposite profile. I know I don't really need to say much about Messi at this point in the game, but this TOTY card is absolute dream. It's a 5-star card. Finesse shot, outside foot shot, playmaker, the exact pair that you want with someone like Mbappe. And before I show you the honorable mentions, this is how Mbappe looks like at 100 overall with, you know, red rank 20 training, 142 pace. Again, notice how pace does not really get that much different at these higher levels, but with him though, you want to pair Lionel Messi right here, 134 pace, 87 physical, quite decent actually. So Messi and Mbappe. However, if you want to save a bit more money even at the premium levels, you will go for Kylian Mbappe and Jorginho right here. This pair is again great if you haven't done the Jorginho exchange. You want the higher overall Jorginho. Everything that you can say about that exchange version, you can say about him, just with a little bit more flair in terms of speed, like a bit more of a boost. Mbappe is again your boosted option, 104 pace. This is a great pair too. Jorginho for dribbling, Mbappe for actual pace and shooting. Lastly, the newest pair on the block, Mo Salah's TOTY, honorable mentions, and Ginola's 97. Now this card is great if you're looking for a very well-rounded option who can also play in striker. This is the important part. And this card, while not having any shooting options, is a decent pick if you are going with someone like Mo Salah as his pair, just because Mo Salah has the things that Ginola is missing. He has speed dribbler, finesse shot, outside foot shot, also with 4-star weak foot, thus making it more of a even pair. And finally, if I have to show you the rank ups here, this is Mo Salah, 136 pace, great numbers. Paired with him, we have Ginola right here, again great numbers. And lastly, of course, I'll show you this Jorginho's card, because I think this is a great place to show you where we are at in wingers. And with that, we will end today's video. Again, let me know in the comments who you want to see next in Hidden Gems. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in another video. And if you want to see us building a team and playing with Lionel Messi's TOTY versus Cristiano Ronaldo's TOTY, do not forget to click right here. Bye bye.